Chupacabra build number 6. Up till now we've talked exclusively about the chassis and all the videos have been about it. I'd like to stop and talk about the body a little bit. This design is from Flavio Adriani in Brazil. He is a hobbyist, he is an architectural illustrator. He is not an automotive designer. And the body, as nice as it is, reflects that, and we're going to have to make a few changes on it. Show you what goes into turning a artist rendering into a producible piece. My good friend Tom Stevens, his company is Design 2, is doing all the SolidWorks work on this. This is e-drawings. This is not a professional, three-dimensional program, but this is what I have to look at it, think about it, sort out what I need to do on this. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Flavio's design, here's the trunk, something like this. Comes up here like so. Hinges are going to go right here, right here. But if you look right here, this is all glass, and you have a little bitty section right here that ties the whole thing together. That's not going to work. We're going to have to move the bodywork, extend it out like this so that we have enough bodywork and strength to make all of this happen right here. Just a typical example of some things that we're going to have to do. This was originally conceived as an electric vehicle. That's the EV logo here. It doesn't have any exhaust pipes. The chassis and the headers are very critical as far as where they can be located in our chassis. There's a very limited location that we can go either way back here. Tom's going to have to take this out, redo this, and redo everything. We're going to get rid of all of this anyway, but redo all of that for a tailpipe. I wanted to show you all this before we did that so we can come back and compare it. Another thing we're going to do on this, and I'm trying my best to stay loyal to Flavio's design without ruining the lines or anything like that, but there's just a few things we're going to have to do on it. These windows, which are very Countach-esque here, that's not going to work either. What we're going to do, though, see if I can make this program work. Yeah. These windows are going to do something like this, with this whole piece being operable, and it slides forward instead of down. That way you have something more than the original Countach mail slot window. Another thing we're going to do, this pod here, the headlight pod, we're going to use this headlight pod. These down here are going to go away, and that's all going to be grill. Something he's done pretty cool on this. See how the license plate bracket is forward of the grill. We're going to leave that and put the grill all the way across the car behind it. This is something I run into on the Countach replicas I've done. You put a license plate up here and it takes away 50% of your grill area. Here we can cheat it up. We can move the license plate forward, put the grill all the way behind it, and I think we'll get a very good airflow there. I never had a problem with overheating with that little grill, but I just never did like it. Tom's sheets here, I've got 3 pages of markups, little details for him to do. The headlights are projector beam headlights. We've already got those. This is what a wiring harness looks like for projector beam headlights. this is the projector beam we're going to be using. They're going to go right in here, and then there's a LED. Well, here, it's right here, I think. Yep. There's an LED light that goes right in here, and that's what all the headlights are going to look like. But this right here is going to have to be modified a little bit to fit the diameter of that projector beam, which also has a halo around it. A whole lot of little things like that. Right here, there was no provision for the windshield wiper and so forth. In this particular model, the fuel filler goes right here in front of the windshield, and we're going to have to move the hood down a little bit to get clearance there. Whole lot of details like that, coordinating the way that this car was designed around the Countach. When we got the point cloud for it, we were pleasantly surprised that the wheelbase is correct, the height is correct, the aesthetics and proportions are correct, but there's other things we need to verify. There's a bulkhead in here behind the driver's seat. I'm thinking from my rough calculations that we're going to have to move this about an inch just to make clearance for the bulkhead. A whole bunch of little things like that from the rendering department to the engineering department. We're going to make a removable chin piece for it here. It's not if, but when that's going to get knocked off. Typical deal. One other thing we're going to do here. This nose, this is the ride height of the car. It's at 5 inches above the ground. This nose is too low for that. It's way too close. We want to raise that up a little bit, but the way we're going to do that is to bring this rocker panel down just a little bit, raise the whole car up. That's something I had also done on the original Countach bodies. That also gives a little more fender well clearance to fit a little bigger tire in here. The original Countach has had an extremely short tire, and we're going a little bigger so that we can get a 17-inch wheel in there. But that actually lends itself for that. But there's our body. There's what we're working on. Tom will be here in the morning. I've got 3 pages for him in revisions. One last thing that we're going to do. The windshield is very, very close to original Countach. Taking a windshield up to the Peterbilt guys the end of this week. They're going to scan it for me. Then we're going to take that windshield and slightly change this right here to allow the existing stock windshield, which is readily available and surprisingly inexpensive, to be able to be used in here and get a laminated DOT windshield. We've got tempered safety glass on all this other stuff. That's sourced and done. We just need to get a template on that. But that's a little bit of what goes into turning an artist rendering into an actual working model. See you next time.